making sense of politics and the cultural divide from a different perspective. This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant on News Radio 710 Keel.
This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant. I am Stephen Barr. Welcome to the show today. CL is out of town. CL is dealing with some family medical issues, and we wish him and his family the best in that. We will be talking to CL coming up a little bit later on in the show as we get into some of the topics from around the country, some of the topics that will give you the edge. They won't keep you on the edge. Let's talk about what's coming up today on the show. We're going to be speaking with Representative Louie Gohmert from our East Texas area. Some of you listening in East Texas, he is indeed your rep. And Representative Gohmert has never, ever shied away from controversy, never, ever shied away from the tough topics. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case again today. We're also going to be talking about celebrity elevator fights. Got kind of a rash of those that have gone on. And CL will be joining us in that conversation. He's got some definite opinions as to whether chivalry is dead. There have been a couple instances where women and their celebrity men have gotten into fights in elevator, fisticuffs. And the question of the day, that does lead us to our question of the day here on America on the Edge. Is there a place for chivalry in 2014 America? Is chivalry dead? Does it still exist? Can you open the car door, or does the keyless entry kind of make that pointless? We want to know. Let us know. Call us 318-320-KEEL, 318-320-KEEL, and let us know what you think about that. You can also let us know on Twitter at The American Edge, there on Twitter, or on Facebook, facebook.com/America on the Edge. But first, let's get into the buzz.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz?
So what is the buzz? Well, there is a new poll out that says Americans want Republicans to take over the House, well, to keep control of the House and take over the Senate. This is a poll that was done by NBC. Also done by the Wall Street Journal and Maris. And the whole point of this, it was done to test what Americans think about what should happen with the election coming up. It was not likely voters, it was registered voters that were chiming in on this. That normally is a demographic that would trend towards Democrats. It would give an excess to Democrats in the poll. But when you start getting to likely voters, that's when it starts to trend a little bit more Republican. So this was registered voters. The other thing is that there were more Democrats in the sample than there were Republicans in the sample, and yet still 43% said they wanted the Senate to go to Republicans. Only 41% said they wanted it to stay with the Democrats. Now, it's not November, and you don't get to vote on the senators in other states, only yours, and only if one of the senators in your state is up for election. So we'll see whether that actually has any impact coming up this fall. We're also getting news from the Associated Press on a ploy by the CIA and U.S. aid to try and overthrow the Cuban government, or at least create more dissenters within Cuba itself. It was a scheme that ran from 2009 until early 2012. It basically had two parts of it. One of them was to try and create a Twitter-like social network. And this network was created by the government and apparently spent about $13 million trying to come up with it. It was referred to as a primitive Twitter application. and it didn't really catch on, didn't really work. And I understand some of the idea behind it, since if you look at what happened with the Arab Spring, most of that was driven by social media, by Twitter, by Facebook. I'm not sure this necessarily was a good idea. Maybe I'm just playing Monday morning quarterback. That's fine. But Twitter and Facebook were not created by the CIA. And so for the government to try and create a social network and get it into Cuba, I'm not sure that was a good plan from the beginning. In the end, it did not work. The other part of it was to use U.S. aid to bring individuals out of Venezuela, Peru, and Costa Rica, young people in their 20s, into Cuba and try and find people who could be leaders of a dissenting movement within Cuba. And this program also turned out not to be successful. These were fairly untrained people. They were only given a 30-minute seminar, according to the AP. They were only given a 30-minute seminar on how to avoid Cuban intelligence services. That's it. And then we sent them in there. And we also used U.S. aid, which is a branch that sends, when Haiti had its earthquake and we started delivering food to folks in Haiti, every bit of that food was wrapped in a package that said U.S. aid. So U.S. aid has done humanitarian work throughout the globe and really is an excellent, in addition to being humanitarian aid, it's excellent PR for the federal government and for the United States and for the American people. In this case, it was a front. We set up a clinic about HIV, teaching about safe sex and how to avoid HIV. And then we used that trying to recruit people to overthrow the Cuban government. All of this has come out in an AP story. And my concern on this is that it would undermine our ability to use U.S. aid for legitimate humanitarian reasons in areas across the globe in future years. Indeed, the CIA in 2012, by the way, this program went from 2009 until 2011. In 2012, the CIA did acknowledge that it should not be using vaccination programs and other things similar to this for espionage, and said that they would not do that in the future after having been found out that they were doing that in Pakistan. I could be wrong on this. Let me know. I don't think the whole thing was a good idea. I know other people disagree with me, but I think the whole thing was just really bad idea, poorly executed, and I'd like to know what you think on it. Give us a call, 318-320-KEEL. Send us a tweet on Twitter @TheAmericanEdge. Is chivalry dead? Let us know. We're going to be talking to Congressman Louie Gohmert coming up next.
This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
The Italians are not the only lovers of pizza, but just to make the Johnny's of Pizza House experience more authentic for you, we invite you to Be Italian. We'll whisk you far, far away to a land of romance and squisito Italian pizza. A 12-inch for just $12.99 begins your journey. Our new bacon and tomato pizza seasoned with Johnny's special Italian blend. Enjoy, no, good array Johnny's bacon and tomato pizza today. Johnny's Pizza House. Taste the best.
Have you ever thought, I wish I didn't have to search for the best price on printing or direct mail? Tired of trying to design your own material on some confusing website just to get to the end and it's not that professional look your business needs? Well, stop searching and call Graphic Industries. We've been waiting on your business, ready to help you with your printing and direct mail needs. Graphic Industries offers all types of print, stationery, brochures, flyers, catalogs, door hangers, books, pocket folders, postcards, variable printed letters, and much, much more. Graphic Industries can direct mail for you, too. You can customize a mailing list, target a certain demographic, or just flood the market and get your name in the homes of thousands of potential clients. Lowest prices, best quality, and a faster turn time. Visit us online at graphicindustries.net. or call us today at 318-222-1100. Graphic Industries, the #1 choice of printing and direct mail.
Is your house just not cool enough when you walk in from work? You deserve to sit in the cool and comfort of your own home after a long, hard day. Give the friendly folks at Premier a call at 222-1980.
Hello, everybody. This is Henry Burr. God, faith, and freedom are not free. Many have paid the price, Let freedom ring. What a great radio program. Go get 'em, CL.
This summer, when looking to reserve your venue for your large gathering, look no further than Giuseppe's on Line Avenue. Restaurante Giuseppe has the capacity to provide for your private event. From as intimate as 2 to as grand as 100 people. With space for wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, business meetings, or any other luncheon or dinner, Giuseppe's has you covered. With a beautiful dining room and spacious dining area, let Giuseppe's take your event from special to spectacular. Chef Giuseppe has been making authentic Italian cuisine for 50 years. Let him give you the meal you and your friends deserve. Contact Giuseppe's on Line Avenue today to book your event at 318-869-4548. That's 318-869-4548. Giuseppe's on Line Avenue. Call today.
This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with CL Bryant. I am Stephen Parr. CL is dealing with some family medical issues today, and we will be hearing from him a little bit later on the show as we talk about chivalry later on. He's a very chivalrous person, by the way. And our question of the day, is there room for chivalry in America in 2014? Is chivalry dead? We got a call from Josh in Vivian, and Josh says, chivalry is dead. People need to go and have a talk with their mother and grandmother because I guarantee they'd hold the door open for them. So let us know what you think. Give us a phone call, 318-320-KEEL. You can also send us a tweet at The American Edge, or go on our Facebook page, America on the Edge, facebook.com/America on the Edge. Well, there's a new report out. This was in Breitbart. I don't know if you guys saw this earlier, but a report from Customs and Border Protection says that the number of illegal immigrants attempting to enter the U.S. is from 75 different countries. The people that are sneaking across the border aren't just from Mexico. They're not just from Central America. They are from all over the world. And they kind of broke it down into two different groups. One group of people would be coming across the border and then would turn themselves in. And then there's the other group that would come across the border and would have to be caught. And so that is what is being looked at this point with that issue. And that is what the report is talking about, is where these people are coming from. Listen to some of the countries, not just where people turn themselves in, but where they had to be caught trying to sneak into the country. Listen to some of the countries they're from. How about Pakistan? And by the way, this is just within the last few years. Since 2010, we've had people from 75 different countries coming within just the last 4 years. Pakistan, one of them. Another one, how about from Yemen? Yeah, folks coming in from Yemen, where there's basically a civil war going on, and we're currently using drones to kill members of Al-Qaeda. We've got people sneaking in from there. The failed nation of Somalia. People are coming in, according to that report, from Somalia as well. From China, people are sneaking across the border into the U.S. This isn't just a Central America thing. This isn't just about people wanting to come here for their children. There may be other motives. May not be people trying to come here to achieve the American dream. Indeed, when you look at some of the countries these people are coming from, these may be individuals trying to come here to destroy the American dream. There are people that have come here from Yemen, from Saudi Arabia, from other countries that have meant to do us harm. And this report says that flow is continuing unfettered. Now, the Republicans in the House of Representatives on Friday did indeed pass a bill that is trying to deal with this issue. Whether it will go anywhere is certainly a big question, but I want you to listen to what happened on the House floor. Representative Tom Marino was talking on the floor in favor of the bill that did get indeed passed on Friday. And while he was doing it, there's a commotion at the end of this clip. Listen to the commotion, then I'll explain what the commotion is. Listen to this from Friday.
Under the leadership of the former speaker and under the leadership of their former leader, when in 2009 and 2010, they had the House, the Senate, and the White House, and they knew this problem existed. They didn't have the strength to go after it back then, but now are trying to make a political issue out of it now. What we need to do is pass this legislation, make sure that these children get back to their families, and we need to line up and protect this border from people coming across.
Did you hear that voice in the background? That was former Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Not only was she breaking the decorum of the House by speaking over Representative Marino when he had the floor, she actually walked across the floor from the left side to the right side of the House, waving her finger and yelling at him because she didn't think that what he said was the truth. Now, what he said absolutely was the truth. The Democrats had both houses of Congress and the presidency, and they did nothing on immigration. And then it continued. She continued to chase him after he was done. Listen to what Tom Marino said afterward.
Gentlemen, will continue. Yes, it is true. I did the research on it. You might want to try it. You might want to try it, Madam Leader. Do the research on it. Do the research. I did it. That's one thing that you don't do.
Gentlemen will address his comments to the Speaker.
It works both ways, Mr. Speaker.
Gentlemen will continue. The gentleman is recognized.
With that, I urge my colleagues to vote for this legislation because apparently I hit the right nerve. I yield back.
Yeah, he was saying that he obviously made Nancy Pelosi angry by speaking the truth. And after he left the floor, she continued to chase him down. Now, that bill may not end up going anywhere because the Democrats control the Senate. And they have let, so far, 357 bills passed by the House languish in the Senate. I see no reason why this one would go anywhere. And so the White House is using this as an excuse to take action on its own. Listen to this is advisor Dan Pfeiffer talking to George Stephanopoulos this weekend.
Because of Congress's failure to fix the immigration system and to pass the supplemental appropriations, we need to deal with the specific crisis on the border. The president has no choice but to act.
Yeah, no choice but to act. And guess how quickly he's going to act. Listen to this next comment.
Now, the Republicans last week took a vote to deport all of those people back to countries that most of them don't know or remember. And that, I think, speaks to the challenge the president has is we need to address the situation both on the border and broader immigration system. So he's going to do what he can, but under the confines of the law.
And it'll be in September?
It'll be at the end of the summer.
Okay, so the president's going to take action that he's not really authorized to have, and he's going to do it by the end of summer, and he's going to do it because Congress has done nothing, except that the Republicans have done something. The Senate's not going to do anything, and so the president's using that as an excuse. Now, another point here, Dan Pfeiffer saying the Republicans are trying to deport people back to countries they don't remember. Hey, Dan, do you remember what country you were in February? Really? They don't remember what country they were in? They just came here from there. I may be from Yemen, but I don't remember what country I came from. Come on now. Really? You don't know what country you're from? Wow. Anyway, so the way that this whole thing is getting played, okay, I want everybody to make sure you understand how this whole thing is getting played. The Republicans have taken action. The Senate, the Democrat-controlled Senate, will not take action. The the president will use that as an excuse to take action on his own. And then they're going to claim that Republicans are going to try and impeach him because he's doing his job, quote unquote. Listen to Debbie Wasserman Schultz on MSNBC.
The Republicans are simply strangled by extremism. There is no more establishment or middle or moderate wing. You've got the Steve King wing of the Republican Party today, who raised the specter of impeachment this weekend. These people are out of control. It's stunning. 2 points on that. John McCain will be very interested to know there is no establishment wing of the Republican Party anymore, since he kind of represents that. Mitch McConnell will also be interested to find that out. So will John Boehner. The other point on what she's saying, they're not bringing up impeachment. It's the Democrats who are bringing up the impeachment issue as an effort to raise money.
We will be back. More America on the Edge.
You're listening to America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Doctors Thornton, Pugh, Ollier, and Watkins from the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center are excited to tell you about a new, made-for-iPhone hearing aid, Resound Links. Resound Links is the fully featured hearing aid designed to connect directly with iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Built with revolutionary technology to bring you a smarter, smaller, and more connected hearing experience. Call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links. That's 888-408-6318 to schedule your appointment to learn all about Resound Links. Apple, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the U.S. and other countries. Once again, call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links.
SB Magazine, North Louisiana's premier publication, is your source for local entertainment, home decor ideas, gardening information, fashion trends, and seasonal gift guides. Every month, we take you behind the scenes at some of Shreveport-Bossier's most fun events in Eye on SB. And you'll find SB Magazine everywhere. But the best way to make sure you have the most current issue is to subscribe. It's just $16 for 12 months. Call Debbie today or go to our website, sbmag.net. SB Magazine, the pulse of Shreveport-Bossier.
Here's another local expert tip from Crystal Auto Collision.
It's stressful enough having a car accident, dealing with your auto insurance company, and worrying about how to get around. Your vehicle is the second largest investment you'll make in your life, so it's smart to use a collision shop that comes highly recommended. Your insurer may direct you to their list of approved repair shops, which can be just fine, but some of those agreements between insurance companies and repair shops may call for concessions on the repair side. Ask what the requirements are for the shop to be on the insurance list. Are they required to use only less expensive generic replacement parts instead of original equipment parts which match your vehicle exactly? Is there a labor or material discounts required, which may diminish the quality of your repair? Instead, ask friends and neighbors for feedback about any shops they've used. And of course, we hope you choose Crystal Auto Collision, serving the Shreveport-Bossier area for 20 years. 318-752-3300.
Keely was my baby sister. She loved pink. We were playing with her dolls. I found a gun in the drawer. It went off. I made Keely go away. I hate me.
An unlocked gun could be the death of your family. Please, lock up your gun. A message from the Ad Council and the National Crime Prevention Council. Visit unloadandlock.com.
This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with CL Bryant. I am Stephen Parr. CL is traveling, and our prayers are with his family. There's some family health things that he's working on up there out of state right now. We will be hearing from CL coming up in the next block, and we want to hear from you now. One of the things CL wanted to talk about was chivalry. He's a very chivalrous person, very magnanimous person, and his values certainly reflect that, the way he behaves on a daily basis. But do all Americans still behave that way? Our question of the day: is there room for chivalry in America in 2014? Is it still okay to open doors for women? Is it still okay to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, whether that person you're talking to is your mom or just some person you've just met? Is chivalry okay? Is there room for it? And let us know. Give us a phone call, 318-320-KEEL. Let us know on that. You can also send us a tweet at The American Edge. Send us a tweet at The American Edge. Or you can go to facebook.com/America on the Edge and let us know about that. One other piece of news here I do want to go over. James Brady passed away today. He was the press secretary for Reagan, back when Reagan was first elected, the very first part of office. And Brady really, I remember Brady as he was really one of the first of the modern speaker, the press secretaries for presidents. He was famously involved in the assassination attempt against Reagan. He was one of the 4 people who was hit. Reagan was shot in the lung. A police officer and a Secret Service officer were also wounded. Brady really took the biggest injury. He was shot in the head. It was a catastrophic injury for him. He never regained full mobility, never regained full speech. He was still a very intelligent man throughout the rest of his days. He was succeeded as the press secretary by Larry Speakes, who I always thought had one of the best names for a press secretary. Brady, by the way, is the namesake of the Brady Bill, which required a background check for weapons that were sold. It was a federal background check, and a lot of people who are proponents of gun safety say that bill has indeed saved lives. Brady did want stricter gun laws afterwards. And look, I think if you were shot by someone who was insane and shouldn't have had a weapon, you might have felt the same way as he did. Where press the current press agents, Josh Earnest currently works, that hall there at the White House is currently named for James Brady, and so we honor his passing today at the age of 73. Other bit of news coming out here: there is a national push for a tax on soda. This is from Representative Rosa DeLauro from Connecticut. She wants to impose a national tax on sugar-sweetened beverages, so that would be sodas or Kool-Aid. And she wants to impose the tax, a 1 cent per ounce of sugar put into those soft drinks. And that would be... of course, it would have to go through the House, and since it is controlled by Republicans, I don't think that bill is going to go anywhere. But there is certainly a push to try and tax your soft drinks across the country. We have a caller answering our question of the day. If you want to call in, you can call 318-320-KEEL. I understand we have Adam on the phone. Adam, where are you from?
I'm from Shreveport, Stephen.
Adam from Shreveport. Adam, thanks for calling in. Our question of the day: is there room for chivalry in America in 2014? What do you think?
I think chivalry's dead. The other day I was at the grocery store and I held the door open for a young girl walking in, and she stood there and stopped and looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, that sometimes, I have people stop and look at me the same way, but it may be for different reasons. Why do you think chivalry is dead?
Steve, that's a good question. I think it's dead on both sides, and I don't know what went wrong.
Oh, okay. So you're saying not only are men not behaving in a chivalrous manner, but women no longer expect it? Is that what you're saying?
And that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, Adam, I appreciate you giving us a call in, and I thank you for listening to the show, and look to talk to you again sometime in the future. And you know what? Just keep opening the doors. Let them look at you crazy, but just keep opening the doors. I think it reflects well upon your character.
Like I'm crazy. I can't help it.
Yeah. Thanks for calling, Adam. Again, if you want to call, you can give us a phone call, 318-320-KEEL. You can also send us a tweet at The American Edge or on Facebook.com/America on the Edge. We had scheduled to talk to Representative Louie Gohmert, and we have him now on the phone. Before we get to the conversation with Congressman Gohmert, I want to play a clip. This is maybe my favorite clip of Congressman Gohmert, and this is when he was talking and challenging the current Eric Holder. He was challenging Eric Holder in the House about his contempt of Congress charge. Listen to this clip.
Sir, I've read you what your department promised, and it is inadequate, and I realize that contempt is not a big deal to our Attorney General, but it is important that we have proper oversight.
You don't want to go there, buddy.
So,
You don't want to go there, okay?
I don't want to go there?
No.
About the contempt?
You should not assume that that is not a big deal to me.
I understand we have Congressman Gohmert on the phone right now. Congressman, we just played the clip of one of the clashes between you and the Attorney General. I want to say, first of all, thanks for calling into America on the Edge.
Well, no, thank you, and thanks for spreading truth constantly. But, I don't know that you would call that a confrontation because he called me his buddy, so I think that's a term of endearment, actually. So, might as well call me his BFF. So,
I stand corrected. Yes, buddy is definitely a term of endearment. On the case that you're working on there, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the Judicial Committee that you're working on. That
was
okay.
And we've been trying to get information about Fast and Furious, for 5 years, and not only that, we've been trying to get information about what they've been doing on the IRS investigation. We've been trying to get information about the new Black Panther dropping of the charges, the suits against them, and one thing after another. And I mean, the guy has obfuscated over and over and over, and not given us good direct answers. And we tried to get answers about how the former Soviet Union, Russia, 2 different times would give us a heads up that the older Tsarnaev had been radicalized and was he was dangerous, going to kill people. And what do they do? Nothing.
That's
Nothing.
the Boston Marathon bombers there.
So anyway, it's just incredible what they have done in the way of damage to the country, and then the things they failed to pursue that would protect the country. But
speaking of
anyway,
which,
and by the way, I got to tell you though, I wish I'd seen before that exchange with the Attorney General, the ABC News article from February the year before. I knew in the back of my mind that he had said somewhere it wasn't a big deal to him. Well, it was ABC News. He they asked him, if it bothered him, and he basically said, well, I'd have to have respect for the people that voted for it. Since I don't, really it wasn't a big deal. So
interesting.
Yeah, so 1 year it's not a big deal, and then the next year, you don't want to go there, buddy. So anyway, we just want justice instead of them thinking it's just us.
But he's going to be the one that would have to investigate and then prosecute if there's been any crime within the IRS and the way that they've handled the Tea Party. Let
me set the record straight there. It appears that there have most likely been crimes committed because there's at least a couple of statutes that pertain to the IRS. And I don't know why Lois Lerner would call conservatives air holes. All I see is A-hole.
There may be other letters to fill that in, but air holes at least that at least works.
I thought maybe air hole.
Yeah.
Anyway, but obviously she doesn't like conservatives. Obviously she's used her position for political purposes, and it's time to get rid of the IRS and prosecute anybody in the IRS that has been using the position for political purposes. But I was talking to Ted Poe last week, and we're working on a bill to set up a new independent counsel. It went out, it sunsetted in 1999, and it had been abused, and even the special prosecutor, when Barry Fitzgerald was appointed to look into who outed Valerie Plame, and he immediately found out it was Richard Armitage.
Yeah.
And he still wanted to hide, and so they kept questioning Scooter Libby until they felt like they had him in a conflict of things he'd said, and that's what he got prosecuted for. Just like Martha Stewart, they got to investigating her back in the 90s.
Right.
No, I guess that was
in the
2005
right.
or so, yeah.
Real quick, we only have about a minute left. I do want to talk about Friday. You passed a bill in the House on Friday with the immigration issue, but
that was a huge win for conservatives. The Speaker's been saying for a year and a half he wanted to do some kind of legal status, what most of us would call amnesty. And by golly, then he had a working group, good conservatives. They put together great principles, and everybody in the party agreed on them. And then he had somebody, we don't know who. I asked if it was the staff member he hired from McCain that works on amnesty. He got real upset about it, but somebody put the bill together in such a way that it was going to create de facto amnesty. I mean, for heaven's sake, for example, we know most of the people never show up for their hearing. Under the new bill that was supposed to be voted on Thursday, and they thought they had the votes to vote it through,
right.
If you don't show up for your hearing, which 90+% don't, then unless they can prove exactly why you didn't show up and it was your fault, then they have to just give you another notice of a hearing.
So,
I mean, it was a de facto amnesty, and there were all kinds of loopholes like that.
And that was defeated and changed on Friday. Congressman, I am so sorry.
They didn't get the votes, and people started reading it, and we convinced them, look, read it for yourself, and they did. They didn't have the votes. They sat down with about 20 of us Thursday night. We agreed to a number of changes. We got rid of the amnesty. We made it tougher. We made it where a governor doesn't have to go through the president and defense secretary to call out the National Guard because they wouldn't allow it.
Right.
Of course.
Congressman, I'm so sorry.
Things that made it good.
Congressman, I'm sorry to cut you off. I want to have you back here on America on the Edge when we have more time. I do appreciate you giving a call in, and
man, I appreciate
love to talk more about
much.
this.
It's been too long, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon.
It has been. Thanks. Congressman Louie Gohmert. We'll be right back with CL here on America on the Edge.
Giving you the edge. This is America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
If you haven't yet, go to our website, AmericaOnTheEdge.com. It's different than most websites out there, and that's because it's not a website, it's our nation, created by Logic Nation. As we're launching this new kind of radio show, we decided to partner with a new kind of internet company. Logic Nation gives us a new way to interact with you through your existing social media platforms. We've got Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all in one place, which makes it easy. Too much of the time, social media becomes a place where we bicker and fight rather than listen and learn. Logic Nation gives us the ability to start a new conversation on air and online. So now when you go to our Nation page and start a conversation with CL or with me, we can stay focused on that discussion without getting distracted. It's going to change things, and I believe for the better. Logic Nation has an app to make it easier to browse content on your mobile devices. You can download that for free today. If you have a business that needs to reach your customers in a new interactive way, you should give Logic Nation a try.
Doctors Thornton, Pugh, Olier, and Watkins from the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center are excited to tell you about a new, made-for-iPhone hearing aid, Resound Links. Resound Links is the fully featured hearing aid designed to connect directly with iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Built with revolutionary technology to bring you a smarter, smaller, and more connected hearing experience. Call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links. That's 888-408-6318 to schedule your appointment to learn all about Resound Links. Apple, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the U.S. and other countries. Once again, call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links.
Hello, everybody. This is Henry Burns. God, faith, and freedom are not free. Many have paid the price. Let freedom ring. What a great radio program. Go get them, CL.
The Keel Business Partner of the Day. We announce it each day during Rush at 12:30. And you log on to 710keel.com and get signed up as a VIP to start earning points from News Radio 710 Keel.
NFL, Dallas Cowboys. It's the best of the best. It's time. It's your time.
This is your home.
AT&T Stadium fans are making noise.
For Dallas Cowboys football 2014.
Bryant over the top of a defender. Touchdown, Des Bryant.
So keep it here.
Oh, merciful heavens. That young man just made a play.
All season.
Wow.
On this Dallas Cowboys radio network station.
Where the Dallas Cowboys play. News Radio 710 Keel. You're listening to America on the Edge with CL Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with CL Bryant. I am Stephen Parr, and CL is traveling. He has been up in Oklahoma with some family medical stuff that you're working on. And CL, appreciate you calling in and giving us a chance to talk to you since, it is your show.
Well, I thank you so much, Stephen, for being the man that you are. And I thank God for sending you my way. We've been a good team, and I think we'll continue to be that.
For hopefully a very, very long time, CL.
You betcha.
Okay, so our question of the day today has been, and we talked about this earlier, is chivalry dead? Is there any chivalry left in this country? And part of the reason why we asked that is because there was a story that has come out, and it's one that you definitely, this struck a chord with you. There was a football player, Ray Rice, plays for the Baltimore Ravens. And this last weekend, of course, was the start of the NFL season with the first pregame, the Hall of Fame game. And Ray Rice has been suspended for 2 games, 2 regular season games, because back in February, he hit his wife in an elevator and knocked her unconscious, and then drug her out of the elevator. And the NFL suspended him 2 games for that action. Ray Rice has come out and said, that was my bad. I was wrong to do that. And then it led to a lot of pundits talking about it on television, on radio. One of them was a guy named Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. And see, I want you to hear what he said last week.
Let's make sure we don't do anything to provoke wrong actions. Because if I come or somebody else come, whether it's law enforcement officials, your brother, or the fellas that you know, if we come after somebody has put their hands on you, it doesn't negate the fact that they already put their hands on you. So let's try to make sure that we can do our part in making sure that that doesn't happen.
So what Stephen Smith was saying was that Ray Rice's fiance at the time, wife, did actually hit Ray Rice in the elevator, and then Ray Rice responded to that. And what he was trying to say is that, hey, don't do something that's going to provoke violence against you.
Well, Stephen, I'm pretty sure that Ray bench presses close to 400 pounds. And I doubt seriously that his wife comes anywhere close to that. And the problem that I'm having here is that, first of all, Stephen A. does acknowledge the fact that if it's your sister, if you're the brother of that sister, if you're the father of that woman, you're going to come after them. But he's saying to women, be sure that you didn't do anything to provoke the guy to knock you out in the elevator.
Right.
Which, now, I respect Stephen A. Smith's commentary on sports, but Stephen went off the rails here by not saying a few words that he should have said. I have a feeling, and I don't know if Justine is there or not, but this is the thing. If Stephen had said, now, in this society, young men many times have not been raised the way I was. If he had prefaced it that way, but no, he set it up as though women who say something or maybe shove a man or maybe even hit a guy, then they deserve to be knocked out, because that's what we're talking about. Because Ray knocked her out
completely
and then drug her.
Right.
This is not right in any situation.
And again, Ray came out and said, no, that this isn't right. Tell you what you're just saying is also what was said by Whoopi Goldberg on The View. And I want you to listen to what she said about this exact same incident.
You have to teach women, do not live with this idea that men have the chivalry thing still with them. Right. Don't assume that that's still in place. Right. So don't be surprised if you hit a man and he hits you back.
So Whoopi is saying chivalry is dead. She said if you're 4'2" and he's 6 foot, don't go picking that fight.
Right, especially in a society, Stephen, where so many young men don't have a role model from your era, my era, to guide them in this particular situation. And to tell you the truth, the whole thing has changed. So yes, you can advise young women that you may not can expect chivalry anymore in this country out of young men, but that still does not make it right. I have 3 daughters. Any of my son-in-laws hit my daughters, it's going to be a bad day for them. That's all I got to say about that. In case my son-in-laws are listening in, they already know this. But this is the problem. A lot of fathers, and I don't know where Ray Rice's wife's father was, but a lot of fathers even today don't have that type of attitude or feeling toward their child, or they haven't conveyed it toward their son-in-law. They haven't put the fear of God in them over their child, over their daughters. And even though they married my daughters, yes, they are their wives, that's still my child.
Right.
And if you hit my child, you got a problem.
Well, it has played out a little differently in a different situation. Because this isn't the only violence that's happened among celebrities in an elevator. This similar thing happened between Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Beyonce's sister, Solange. Listen to a report from that.
Pop's first family finally breaking their silence this morning, speaking for the first time about this family feud. In a joint statement, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Solange saying, at the end of the day, families have problems, and we're no different. The trio releasing a statement to the Associated Press 3 days after this surveillance video was leaked, showing Solange physically attacking Jay-Z in the elevator at New York City's Standard Hotel moments after leaving a Met Gala party.
And in that instance, Solange was hitting Jay-Z, and Beyonce was watching it happen, and Jay-Z, unlike Ray Rice, never responded to that. Actually, you didn't even see a change on his face in the video. He just stood there and took it.
I have to give it to Jay-Z. He was a cool customer in that circumstance, even though, that was ghetto gone wild with the sister there among billionaires. Jay-Z and Beyonce together are billionaires, and you expect better behavior from them. Actually, Jay-Z acted he was stellar. He was a gentleman.
Yeah.
As far as concerned, he just tried to protect himself, and oddly enough, in that situation, Beyonce actually was unresponsive.
Completely.
She said nothing, if you ever watch the tape.
Yeah.
But this is something that looks like it is going to be rampant. I have to give it to Whoopi. Whoopi did say something that was actually acceptable as far as I'm concerned. You do have to tell young women these days, don't expect if you happen to take on a guy who's 6 feet tall and you're 4 feet 3 or whatever it is, you may expect to get knocked out.
There is a simple solution to all this. Don't hit people.
Don't hit people.
I think that's a pretty good solution to the whole thing. And unfortunately, I don't think you can expect as many men to behave in a chivalrous manner as we used to be able to.
But it'd be interesting, Stephen, to find out the woman's point of view on what Stephen A. had to say. Did he cross some line that women should he have gotten suspended? Should he have been fired as far as that's concerned? I have a feeling that Stephen A. is a very stand-up guy. Met him once, shook his hand a couple of times, said hello and goodbye as far as that's concerned. I've watched him for years on Sportscast, and he seems to be Hannity. Sean has him on his show, on his radio and television show often, and he is conservative, even though he won't admit that. I do believe that if he had been a different type of sportscaster, one with less caliber, he'd have lost his job over this. Maybe even if he was white, he'd have lost his job over this. White and conservative. He would have lost his job over this. He's very lucky, very fortunate. He's blessed to still have a job.
CL, thanks for calling in, and safe travels, my friend. And, of course, our prayers and hopes are with you and your entire family this
God bless
week.
and keep you. Talk to you soon.
We'll be right back with more America on the Edge.
You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
It's a summer sizzler showcase. You could win a $5,000 gift card to any Louisiana Boardwalk store, including Bass Pro Shops. Presented by the outlets at Louisiana Boardwalk. Look online to win at 710keel.com.
If you're tired of getting nickel and dime for your company's marketing needs, GI Marketing Group can help. We're a new, evolved marketing company with no monthly fees or markups and with quicker response times. With GI Marketing Group, there is no outsourcing. We own the production facilities, everything from print, mail, video, digital, and web design. We do it all in-house. Call us today at 318-222-1100 to start saving time and money, or visit us online at gimarketinggroup.com.
If the number on your thermostat is going up just as quickly as the temperature outside, your air conditioner may have a serious problem. Give the friendly folks over at Premier Heating and Cooling a call at 222-1980.
Hello, this is Matt from One Planet Solar. As we reach the middle of the year, I wanted to take a minute to thank all the homeowners who have installed solar energy systems so far in 2014, making this our busiest year yet. I love getting phone calls from customers the month after installation, bragging about their low electric bills. It never gets old. I'm also here to remind folks that One Planet Solar is a full-service electrical business, with master electrician Lee Cruz anchoring our repair and service division. Lee has an excellent reputation and has been with our company since we opened almost 8 years ago. He takes care of all jobs, small or large. Don't forget that solar still has tax credits available that pay up to 80% of the cost of most systems. Why give that money to the government when you can use it to buy solar for your home? So what are you waiting for? Whether it's a solar system or miscellaneous electrical work around the house, One Planet Solar is the only choice in the Arklatex. Call 858-5000 to schedule your free quote. That's 858-5000.
The Kennedy Center of Louisiana is hosting an area-wide job fair Thursday, August 7, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Riverview Hall, downtown Shreveport. Bring your resume. Interviews will be conducted on site. For more information, or if you're an employer and interested in participating, call Leslie Plants at 675-1112. Some of the employees present and hiring are Gene Simpson Personnel Services, D&K Health Services, Brookshire Grocery Company, PepsiCo, and Omni Specialty Packaging. Come by the Riverview Hall, downtown Shreveport on August 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Rush Limbaugh, the authority for all things right.
Let me cut through all of the noise. These senators do not want to control immigration. They want to expand it. Wealth will be redistributed from the middle class to a new class of poor. And what we're actually doing is importing poverty in order to enhance big government.
Rush is on every weekday from 11 to 2, right here on your news and weather station, News Radio 710 Keel. You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Well, welcome back to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant. I'm Stephen Parr. Our question of the day, is there room for chivalry in America in 2014? And I was going to answer, I was going to tell you what I thought, and then we just got this message online. And it's better than anything I could say. Listen to it. Chivalry is a combination of manners and kindness. It's a sad day to think that using manners and kindness have gone out of style. It's about treating others with respect. No wonder students come to school without appropriate social skills. Parents need to be modeling that at home.